And welcome back to another works. There's talks about something. One of those. And there's fine. And here we are talking about Orc once again. This one's we're going to try to be positive. Of course, there's talking about stuff, of course. There's other works. We're going to be doing work today. In the other works. And it's about the Orc license. It finally has a draft. A first draft. It's very late. It is very late. It is a month late. And then some. It was supposed to come out in March. And now it's finally ready. And it's 2 pages. But a lawyer who isn't a copyright lawyer, I might add, and says this video is not legal advice, as always. And this video, the one you're watching right now, is not legal advice either. I'm not a lawyer either, so yeah. If a lawyer says it, then someone who isn't a lawyer should definitely say it. But I know so far what I'm going to do. So this video is my response to the first draft of Orc. By me, I mean Green&Blue Productions. That's to royal me. The organization of 2 people. Sometimes. But anyway. Of course, not all of you. And anyway. All of you who, engage in the channel. At any point. That includes just watching this video one time. But anyway. So, yeah. It's not good. That was the first, those are the first 2 words out of my mouth in this video. I was going to say something else. I was preparing myself to say something else. But it's not good. It's not good. Three words is going to be in the title, probably. It's not good. Like, how do you waste so much space on something that should just be a really, really long sentence? If that. Like, how do you waste 2 pieces of paper? Oh, it's more than 2. I didn't realize it's 4, right? What? Yeah, it's 4 pages. How'd you waste 4 pages of paper? Like, how did you waste 4 pages of paper on this? When it really should be just one long sentence. Like, it really makes me doubt anything Azor Law says. Like, they could fix it, but these guys are supposed to be the best of the best in copyright law for tabletop gaming, or for tabletop RPGs, and by extent tabletop gaming, and yet they can't even make a simple free use document. Like, people do that all the time on DeviantArt. It takes a sense. You can use my art as long as you credit me. Like, how hard is that? And also today, we're not going to be just reviewing the Orc license. We are also going to be changing this. It's somewhere around here. We're going to be changing this to one and highlighted in the highlight. In the gray. The game system and content written in these pages is free for anyone to use however they like forever, as long as Green&Blue is free to protect our rights. I can do better. I can do better. And I do kind of resist the right to change that as many times as I like, as long as I do it on video, as you as my witness. As long as I do it on my video, as you as my witness on the internet, just in general, as my witness. I can change it as many times as I want, as long as I do it on video, you as my witness, and it's in the publicly available document of the publicly available PDF of everything GM posts from the point of change onward. That might be possible, but we'll see. At least the playtest document. This the big boy, the big one. Oh yeah, definitely the playtest document's on here, written somewhere. But anyway. Again, why can't I reload you that with 4 pages? Make that 3 pages. Oh, this is the accident, right? Make that 4 pages. Yeah, I watched the entirety of his video. He did leave out some things. He didn't read it verbatim. But it is a really hard read. Yes, I know legalese is a hard read, but this is hard to read for legalese even. I can read legalese. I'm not a lawyer, I can read the legalese because I'm used to policy documents and whatnot, dealing with whatever the United States government says. Like right now, I'm trying to get disability, and you need to read legalese for that. At least we got U.S. government ease, which is different than legalese. But anyway, and also being a YouTuber, going on itch.io, dealing with companies, dealing with other entities, other companies at points, you're going to need to learn how to read legalese if you are a content creator on the internet, unless you don't deal with anybody. But anyway. So, I don't like it. I don't like it, and I'm not going to use it so far. Again, this is my video as a response. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not going to use it so far. Because I don't, well, one, I don't really use the verbiage in expressed in Orc content. Like, I just don't. Like, I mean, I use traits, sure. But my traits are not your traits, are not Orc traits. So that's going to be a problem. I will have to change that in individual life for that. I don't use attributes at all. I don't use I use stats, not statistics. Do I use that for the same case as what Orc is trying to say? Yeah. Hard not to. But I think Orc means more than what I mean when I say stats. I don't use jobs, don't use classes. Stat blocks, I don't use stat blocks. Don't use alignments. Don't use professions. Don't use proficiencies. I use abilities, but not the way they define it. Maybe the way they define it. That's a controversial one. I don't use spells. Systems? Do I even use systems? That's a good question. Do I use systems? I don't think so. That's an iffy one. Challenge ratings, I don't use. It's very much like, are you making a D&D clone or aren't you? Which is very putting Orc into a box. What if you're making OG content, like I am? Like completely original rules. Why is Orc in a box? Why is Orc in a D&D shaped box? If it's open sharing, and you are expected to conform to these standards, why is it a D&D shaped box? What about us, who exist, both me and maybe you, who exist outside of the D&D shaped box? Are we not valued by Orc? Or what? I feel kind of insulted right now, and kind of threatened by Pizo, because if my stuff takes off, I'll be in direct competition with them. I'm in direct competition with them now. So is Pizo trying to make everyone into a D&D-shaped box so they can control it better? That's not very open. Saving says don't use, resting I don't use. Those are very D&D things. Skill checks, I don't call them skill checks. There are checks in the word, it's character checks, but it's mostly just CC now. then I can always scrub these words out of my book. I feel like I kind of need to now to make it get even further outside of the D&D shape box. The D&D shape box has a fire within it. I don't think I want to be in the fire box anymore. In the box that has a fire in it, you know? Like D&D just took a massive hit and is on fire because of what WotC's doing. Why would I want to be anywhere near that? The box it's in. You know? Another thing the Orc's kind of doing is stifling innovation. Because if you need all these words in your book, and they need to mean the things that are in D&D, essentially it needs to be a D&D clone to classify as Orc content, then, yeah. That stifles innovation. Like my game. How will... Yeah. So I might need okay. I might need to, depending on what Orc does. I might have to talk to them on the Discord about it. I probably should. That's probably the right thing to do. The honorable thing to do. But yeah. Another thing is they want to make this defined but simple. They achieved neither. It should be on one page. It should be just a sentence or a couple paragraphs. It shouldn't be all of this. Like, there should be no Orc content. There should be no product identity. Because one of their arguments they make in the extract, their reasoning for the licensed draft, is they want it to last forever. They want it to be a monolith. They want it to be you are a life form born on the other side of the universe, away from Earth, and you get a book, and you go to your local bookstore if you have those, pick up a book, and it has the Orc license on one of the first pages, I presume is where it's going to need to be. I don't think it says it in this. I could be wrong. And then you see 4 pages of the Orc license in that book. Well, do you know English? I presume so, or it's been translated into your language. If it's been translated into your language, and let's say it's a million, trillion, billion, thousand, septillion years, Google even, Google on top of that, after humanity has gone extinct, but the Orc license still persists. And you're reading this in the store, and all these texts are some ancient texts that, by tradition or what have you, a taboo maybe, they need to be in the book. So you go research it on your on whatever database that you have that's connecting your species together. Presumably you're a spacefaring species. You might not be. And you go on this internet and you try looking up these words and where they come from, and how they translate to wherever they came from. The heck is an alien gonna know what? The heck is an alien gonna know about what any of these words mean? The heck is an alien gonna know about literally everything under a highlight in blue? The heck is an alien gonna know any of these words? Like instructions, laws, whatever that one is. What is that? One of the words that rules were pointing out was that thing. I don't know what that is. That's a weird one. That's a weird one. What? I wonder if they have to do anything with TTRPGs. I mean, also video games and whatnot. Wherever this document may go in the future. Which do they say verbatim? As long as copyright exists, okay. Marriage is also a question of how long does Disney exist? Because Disney will push it till infinity, until et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to push it to as long as they can. They might even push it to other timelines too. Like they have always been Mickey Mouse. Like, Mickey Mouse has always existed. What are you talking about? It's always been us. Mouses are just something we created, of course, based on Mickey Mouse. Like cardinals are based on a person, and oranges are based on and the color comes from the orange, kind of like that. One is the reverse of the other, but anyway. Okay, so they don't literally say the death of the universe in this document. Okay, I was getting misled, but anyway. That's why you should always read legal documents yourself, or have a trusted person look over it, but you should always read it yourself regardless. Why is it complicated? I wish it was less complicated, but we're up there for simplicity whenever possible. No, you didn't. But when we were faced with the decision between precision or simplicity, we opted for precision. No, you didn't. We wish it was simpler, but slicing copper in half is challenging. Well, slicing copper in half is challenging. What does that even mean? Why, how is slicing a sentence in half challenging? Albeit that is challenging. I mean, yeah, I don't think I can do it less than a sentence. I don't think I can do it less than a sentence. I don't think I can legitimately do it less than a sentence. But anyway. We want it to last for a very long time and resist all manageable legal challenges. If we found a way to make it simple, we would have done so. No, you didn't. You lie. No, unless proven otherwise. Like, this is not simple. This is not simple. This needs to be this needs to be a paragraph. This needs to be a sentence. An example of such sentence, let me refresh this page real quick.
I'm a lawyer, and I don't know what the
Yeah. An example of a sentence you can use. I bet this is a really long sentence, but anything that this text is associated with, as defined by the user of the license upon adding to material used to share thoughts with others, is now open source and can be used by anyone for anything from this point till eternity is over. Might need to add some space aspects in there, like from this point till eternity. From this point, actually that's pretty good. But yeah, it's just it's just not good. It's just not good. You're terminating automatically if you fail to comply. Yeah, it's like not using any of the words. Like, what if you use a mechanic that's not from D&D? Heaven forbid you make a D&D clone. Like, what happens then? And also, why didn't you just say if you make a D&D clone, like everything D&D is covered? You could have just said that. But can they? No, they can't legally say that. No, they legally can't say that. But anyway. Yeah, it just isn't good. What really gets me is, Azure Law is apparently used by literally everyone in tabletop RPGs, and they make this stuff bad, and they can't produce a document worth jack. It's literally worthless. It can be used for bad people to do bad things. Such as, what's stopping someone from having not a single word in the Orc license, and having the Orc license, and making every one of their fans believe, oh, we are under Orc, we are such nice people. And yet, if the fans don't read it verbatim, and realize it's not, and don't realize it's not a legal and realize it's their this metaphorical company that's abusing the license is not using the license because it can't use the license, don't use the words, which is stupid because then they have to have every single word to ever exist, but I'm pretty sure they can't do, and if they could do it, they could just say every word to ever exist. Like, it's just not good. Like, how do you fail this badly at your job? I don't know how big their law is, never heard of them before the whole debacle. But, like, how can you fail this badly at your job? How? How can some random disabled person on the internet literally write something better than you can as their law? Write policy better than you can as their law? Write a legal text better than you can as their law? Like, how? I'm starting to get, I'm trying to get agitated. Not angry yet, agitated, because I've been getting angry because of my CPTSD and whatnot. Or at least I believe I have CPTSD, and my doctor and nurse my mental doctor and nurse didn't disagree. And in fact, recommended me a book to read so I can get a doctor next. But anyway, which is next sometime in June. But like, and she did diagnose me with PTSD before. Anyway. So, I guess so we don't get more agitated. Let's just go ahead and, do the thing that we're going to do. Let's go ahead and do the second part of this video. How long are we going for? 20 minutes. Of course. It might be too long. It might be too long, but I might not want to place it there either. This is kind of buried. It took me a second to find it. Yes, it's on the second page, but it's kind of buried. I put it underneath the photocopy thing because it's under the photocopy thing. The photocopy thing. I don't know why I said it like that. But let's do this real quick. Oh my word, it fits! Okay, so let's change it for our purposes. Let's make this. I don't know why I can't spell upon. Let's make this work. Okay. Anything that this text is associated with as defined by the user of this license upon adding it to this material. No, it can't have these. It must be a run-on sentence. It kills me nowadays. But it has to be. It just has to be. Okay. Anything that this text is associated with as defined by the user of this license upon adding it to this material, use to share thoughts with others, is now open source, it can be used by anyone for anything from this point till it... Oh! Oh, genius move! Genius move! I don't know if you caught that. I said point and didn't elaborate. Is it point in time? Is it point in space? Is it something we don't understand yet? Is it some other concept? Entirely. What is it? Yes, because the thing you must understand in writing policy, which is what I'm more used to, writing policy and rules, is, because I write policy for Green&Blue all the time, is, and also I judge policy ran by others and just my own, but anyway, and share with others, and people say I'm a good policy person. But anyway, so getting out of lore, not getting out of lore. I guess you just skipped this bit. But yeah, you won't be you don't want to be defined. We see orc, and it's defined. There's a bunch of words you can circumvent to trick people. I don't use words like that. I go vague. Why you go vague is, if you go vague, it can be used for anything. Alternatively, it could be used for nothing, but that's why you go vague. That's why you go vague in shotgun or dragnet an area. Like, for example, anything. Anything that this text is associated with. Which anything that this text and the marks and this quote, anything between, and again, we got a good solid years before this will hit anything. This will be anything between these marks, these marks, is associated with as defined by the user of this license. Anything that this text between is defined by the user of this license. Upon adding it to this material, which is to use thoughts, which is used to share thoughts with others. Medium, that's better. To these ideas on you share with others. Okay. We're finding time. Yeah. Yeah, medium is fine for right now. Let's get rid of open source. That's too not vague. Understanding. Because remember, eternity is weird. Eternity is not just to an end. It is all there is and will be. Pretty much, yeah. It's all there is and will be. It's all time, all space, all space-time, all whatever you want. That's eternity. No, we don't want it till eternity is over. That's too limiting. And beyond. Okay, anything that this text between these quotation marks associated with, as defined by the user of this license, with actually oh, wait, I can do that better. Anything that this text between these quotation marks is associated with as defined by the user of this license, which they can specify in this medium upon adding we don't need to use this license. We got better. We got words. We got words we can use. We're calling this what okay, what should we call it? There's so many things to call it. Hey there, we can add dirt to it, put dirt in front of it. That's always a good answer. Explain, not specify, explain. In this medium upon adding No. No. We gotta go with the obvious one. We gotta go. What is this? What is this license called? What is the thing in between these quotation marks called? It is called. No, no. No. It's not capitalized. It's not. Here you go. No, no. Just it. And I do like it because when you're saying this, like, oh, of course, no duh, that's what it is. I like it, no duh. And also, like, those aren't commonly put together, I don't think, but anyway, not anymore. Is anything that this text between these quotation marks is as defined by their license, which they can explain, and this medium upon adding. Okay, we gotta capitalize it, son. No. No. We don't. A, we capitalize it, but B, at least be a 0. We gotta code this just so people understand. And we gotta use the stars, just like MASH did, because stars don't mean nothing in words like this. And also it does. And also when you do this, you have to do the thing with the stars and the 0, or else you're not gonna understand what you're doing. I think MASH had on the other end to make it extra not make sense. There you go. I did. I think that's what people say about writing, just in general. Review. No, that one's very good. That's small A. Illegal. You gotta make it legal, there. And it's smaller. Gotta make it legal. There you go. Oh, we got a period. It can be 2 sentences. Yay. Which? Alright. From the top. No der is anything that is text between these, doing the finger thing, quotation marks associated with, as defined by the user of this license. It just can't be. It has to be a nonsense, which they can explain in this medium upon adding no der to this medium. Used to this medium, to this medium used to express ideas to others that can be used by anyone. I know what I did wrong. We gotta get rid of this. Medium used to express idea to others upon can explain in this medium used to express ideas to others that which is defined by the user of this license, which they can explain and this medium used to express to others. Okay. What a no, there's anything that there's text between these quotation marks is associated with as defined by the user of this license, which they can explain in this medium used to in this medium used to express by others by how do you say saying without saying saying? Or writing? Or performing or anything like that? I guess by transmitting. Which by then this needs that transmission. Thoughts. Transmission of thoughts. I might be overcomplicating it, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We gotta look up what those are. You don't know what we get. Oh, I'm breaking the search thing. What happens if I just put in the things? Parentheses, okay. That's why you always show what kind of thing you are putting in the thing, what your things are, and why. Did I remember to do that correctly? I like it! I like it. It looks legal, too. Looks legal. I'm a lawyer, of course. Lawyer. But anyway. Okay, so, note the license is anything that a transmission... An open... An open is open license. Just making that right now. We'll fix it later. I don't want it to. I don't want it to be anything that exists, and I do want to gotta go bam onto Orc. For not being as open as one could. But as I am right now, as you can see, with the transmissions we are making, with the transmission I am making with my mouth onto the paper, or the PDF on the computer, and you are watching as a pre-recorded, as a series of pre-recorded images at maybe 60 FPS through the internet and time and space, and to be transmitted into images and or sound to your eyeballs. I presume you have eyeballs. But anyway, probably why not? Your auditory and optical senses. Yes. But anyway. Like, Orc wants to play the game. We're gonna play the game. Okay, no, there is an openness open license where anything that this transmission of thoughts between these quotation marks, the bunny ears, is associated with as defined by the user of this license, which you can explain in this medium used to express ideas to others by transmitting in parentheses, the little circles, no der, then thoughts on and limit in parentheses with the little circles, and then circle again. I'll close it, and that these transmissions can be used by one for anything from this point till, don't want to say on either, on means time, so we don't want to say that either, from this point till eternity is over and beyond. Into the year 3001 in my setting. Anyway. Yeah. We're done. We are done. We did it! We did what the legal engineers, or whatever you call them, or Zora law firm or whatever, can't do. We made it short, and we made it simple, and we made it simple. We made it no dir. We made it no dir. And then that could be read throughout all time and work throughout all time and space and whatever. No, bad. I don't like you. I don't like you. Bad. Bad 69 Fahrenheit, bad. But anyway. Oh, alright, so I'm gonna have to split these up. I might split these up, but anyway. I'll probably split these up just for people who aren't used to hour-long videos. But anyway. So those were my thoughts on the Orc License Draft number 1. I don't like it. It's not good. It's not good at all. And this was me doing better. At least I think I'm doing better. Making a license under my terms, but in a similar thing to what they wanted to do. Oh, going out of space. You delete for the greater good. For the greater good. Oh, and I'm also going to put this license on my books and my art and my video descriptions too. And my game, somewhere in my game. We're going to figure out where to put in the game. No, we have to put it in the game somewhere. No, we don't put into anything between these pages. And yeah. Man, that looks so good. Oh, that looks so. Oh, it looks. I'm not gonna go flip back to Orc because that was another video, but this looks so good. Oh man, I've outdone myself. I think I've outdone myself this time. Oh man. Alright, so for today, thanks for watching. Do appreciate watching on this video. It means a lot to me. Also means a lot to me if you were to check out the stuff in the description below, such as various Facebook channel, which of course this Facebook channel for watching these videos, each content reproduced, and by sharing friends to a list to. Alright, that be this video. Thanks for watching, and I guess see you in a second. Hold it. Yeah, I'm out. I'm done with the work. And the Orc Alliance as a whole, it just isn't for Green and Blue. Again, the Royal Line. It's not for us at all. No, it's not. For one, they don't define what terms and conditions are. And I had an argument with someone who apparently appeared in the Canadian Supreme Court in the Orc Discord, and essentially they said, oh, you gotta interpret this, and only a lawyer can. And I'm like, that's not gonna fly. Like, that can be abused so easily. Just get yourself a lawyer and a judge willing to work with you on abusing it, and you now have abuse. Interpretation is not how things work. It's not what I'm willing to trust Green and Blue to interpretation. Like, again, well, not again, but in terms of other terms and conditions. Your license, that's really hard to read. Your license to use lower content will terminate automatically if you fail to comply with terms and conditions of the license. But they also don't define the terms and conditions. Apparently, it's a few words in here. Apparently, there's a few words in here, not the entire thing. If it's a few words, then why didn't you define it in terms and conditions? Because if we type in terms and conditions, license rights. Yeah, type in what's the term? Term? License rights mean your rights granted to you by the subject conditions of this Orc license, which is limited to all copyright and subject. Yeah. Subject interpretations. Only terms and conditions. We're not there yet. And it's on there. Yeah, there. Terms and conditions. Where are they? Well, where is the section where is a number and then bold with underlined text saying terms and conditions? Like, where is it? Like, if EA has to put that in somewhere, if Microsoft has to put that in somewhere, people would make more money than the entire tabletop industry. Where is it? If Apple does, if anyone else, if Amazon, if YouTube, if itch.io, if random indie developers making video games randomly for Warner Brothers, like, where is it? I ask you, Orc itself. I ask you, Pizo, where is it? Where is it? If it's interpretation, That can literally mean anything. I can interpret as if I was a respected elderly gentleman with a powdered wig, and I'm a TV lawyer. You know, I've been around the block a lot of times, and I've been on TV. And if I had if I had a degree, a fancy degree from Harvard and whatnot, I can literally say that this is a discriminatory condition because it's not defined anywhere. Two. That's the sole terms and condition. Two. That's what interpretation means. Factually, that's what interpretation means. And not only that, I was very much counseled by these two people on their Discord, who also said I was combative with them, even though they were fighting, even though they were insulting me first. Like, I was asking questions, and suddenly they were being rude. Like, what? That's not how things work. So yeah, it's just, I really should probably stay off Discord because it just isn't good for me. It's like Twitter. It really isn't good for me. But yeah, no, it's just, I'm out. Maybe I just have a bad, maybe I just found two people that were just bullies. I don't know. I mean, like, the rest of the Orc community seems pretty fine. I know a lot of people in there from YouTube in general. So I don't think, like, I don't think all the Orc community is bullies, or is as toxic as War Thunder, for example. But, like, if Pizo believes the people who've been to the Supreme Court of Canada, who are clearly gaslighting people, bullying people, and lying, or in saying their interpretation is literally better than having factual text in the document. I mean, an example I should have gave to him was the OGL. Apparently, Perpetual is up to interpretation. And that's what caused the OGL debacle. This document does not describe terms and conditions anywhere. So Pizo could literally terminate your org license for failing to use 2 in your book. Or maybe use 2 too many times. Or 2 is, or whatever. Or the only thing that matters is you using these fancy words, which is what I was worried about. Because again, like, terms and conditions are up to the reader. It could be all of it, it could be none of it. It could be some of it, it could be part of it. But there is no terms and conditions actual thing. It's just not good. It's not good. It's dangerous for the Telehealth community. Like, if everyone starts using this, just like the OGL, and if this were to go, an example I used with is if this were to go to Congress over something, if they wanted to suddenly ban TTRPGs because they're getting popular, if they wanted to ban TTRPGs because they wanted to ban video games at one point, yeah, it just isn't good. It's not going to hold up the test of time which they want, which is something they said that they wanted it to do. It's not going to last. It's not going to hold up to any real test if it's up to interpretation. So that's why I'm out. My license is indefinitely better because it's not up to interpretation. It's very literal in what it says. It's very vague in what it says, but it's also very literal. And again, I'm not a lawyer or anything. So, yeah, it's just, I just know alright policy and rules. Like, this isn't good. This just isn't good and I'm out. Can they bring me back in? Yeah, maybe. I'm still subscribed to the newsletter. Can they bring me back in? Probably. But there'll have to be a significant reason too. And my advice to anyone watching this is don't put the orc in your book unless you are absolutely sure. If you need a lawyer, make sure the lawyer actually knows their stuff about copyright law, and stuff like that. And if they say anything about interpretation, don't believe them. Because that means that you can interpret it any way you like, and that's no. That's not how things fly here. So yeah, I mean maybe I'm just upset with having the argument with two bullies, but like, yeah, no, it just isn't. It just isn't. This isn't gonna work. This isn't. If this has any barrier, if this has any bar on what the final version will be like, no, don't do it. Don't do the work. It just isn't good. It's not gonna work. It's not going to achieve any of its objectives, other than being a license. It will achieve that. But anyway, so yeah, I already said the outro, and I'm too upset to say the outro again. So yeah.